Hello. Welcome to Everything Fact. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button.
For most birdwatchers, distinguishing a raven from a crow is as easy as telling a peacock from a parrot. To most of us, however, it is easy to mix up the two blackbirds. At first glance, you'll think that these birds are the same kind. Common ravens and American crows are actually related. They come from the same family, Corvidae. The common raven's scientific name is Corvus corax, while the American crow's is Corvus brachyrhynchus. They have the same shape with the same black feathers. It doesn't help that ravens and crows' habitats overlap too, as both populate North America in large numbers. Despite these similarities, there are still distinct characteristics that can help us differentiate the two birds. High in the sky, ravens and crows look the same. A black raven can easily be mistaken for a black crow. If we keep our eyes peeled, however, we'll be able to tell the small yet sure differences between ravens and crows. Ravens and crows have different sizes. One principal difference between a raven and a crow is that one is larger than the other. The length of a common raven is usually 24 inches. An American crow is around 7 to 8 inches smaller, with a total length of roughly 17 inches. Because of their different sizes, a raven naturally weighs heavier than a crow. A raven usually weighs up to 2.6 pounds, while a crow is much lighter at 1 pound. The beak of a raven is thicker and looks heavier than a crow's. A raven's beak curves down near the tip. Meanwhile, a crow's beak is thinner and straighter. Feathers surround both of their beaks, but a raven's feathers are much thicker and appear shaggier. The feathers surrounding a crow's beard are less developed and look trim. The shapes of their tails are also some of the easiest visual clues in determining a raven from a crow. A common raven's tail is longer, with tail feathers that form a diamond or V shape. This is because the tail feathers of a raven elongate in the middle, creating a pointy shape. In contrast, an American crow's tail is shorter, with tail feathers that fan out in a curved shape during flight. In short, a common raven's tail points out into a diamond, while an American crow's tail flats out into a fan. People often ask, can ravens talk, or can crows talk? Well, the answer to that is that they call. This, too, is another way that we can tell a raven versus a crow. A raven's call sounds different from a crow's call. So, if you're trying to tell a raven from a crow, you'll have to use your ears and listen closely. A raven call is low-pitched while a crow call is high-pitched. To put it simply, crows call while ravens croak. You'll probably be more familiar with how crows call because most horror films use their caw-caw sounds as background music to set a scary scene's mood. Still, a raven call is just as interesting and will help you determine one blackbird from the other. When it comes to food, ravens and crows are both omnivorous scavengers. This means that they eat both plants and animals. However, as scavengers, they mostly eat dead animals. While their classification is the same, their tastes still vary. A raven mostly feeds on small animals, such as insects, mice, and lizards. A raven might also hunt smaller birds. You can also find ravens eating garbage in urban areas. Meanwhile, a crow will most likely feast on seeds, fruits, nuts, and worms. However, they too will take advantage of opportunities such as abandoned nests to steal eggs or young birds to eat. The habitats of ravens and crows do overlap. They occupy North America in great numbers. However, there are some notable differences in the areas that they favor. Common ravens are much more inclined to less populated areas. A raven's habitat ranges from grasslands to beaches to forests to deserts. If you live in a rural area, where it is a lot less populated, then you'll most likely catch a raven flying or perched on a tree every day. You can also find ravens in Central America, Europe, and Asia. If you live in a crowded city or other urban areas, then you'll most likely find a murder of crows instead. Crows are much more adaptable than ravens. They don't shy away from populated areas. As long as there are trees around, then crows will have no problem surviving there. Crows, however, don't favor deserts as much as ravens do. This is because deserts don't have any trees for crows to nest on. American crows will often avoid large, thick forests where daunting predators can attack them. You can easily find crows in some areas of Canada and throughout the United States. At first, it might not be easy to tell a raven versus a crow, but with these revealed differences, it can only get easier. Next time you're in the park or out in the street and you notice a blackbird, watch, listen, and observe. That way, you'll surely be able to provide plenty of answers to the question, what's the difference?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button.